I'm just saying good morning to 2025. Hi, it's Susan, and it might not be morning for you, obviously. So, hi, it's Susan. My name is, my channel name is Seaside Stitches. Welcome to my channel, and I just want to speak for about 5 minutes about what my plans are for January. Now, I normally follow Karen at Just Get It Done Quilts. She does a complete declutter through January, and I think the first 14 days she comes on every day and talks about what next, and I like to go through that with her. I don't do it as thoroughly as her, but she does it with a 30-minute timer, pieces, different types of things that she's going to do, concentrate on each day. Now I'm going to do something like that for myself. I'm not going to video it all. I will be in front of the camera probably just a couple of times during that first week. So I'm just saying that I'm beginning my week today, and I'm very, very aware that to start to declutter, I need to make it even more cluttered, because I will be getting more things out of cupboards and tubs and drawers and storage things so that I can start properly. Now I have a massive declutter in front of me. Okay, so just one thing that I wanted to explain, and that is I will take a picture or several pictures of my sewing room at the moment. My ring light is strobing now. I do apologise. It may be on dimmer. Let me just see. I apologise if it starts to flicker again. There's not a lot I can do with it at the moment. The day is absolutely dark. It's awful. Downstairs, I've got to have both lights on, both sets of lights on. It's really, really dim and dark. But I'm not going to be on very long. So what I'm saying is I will be taking little snapshots or little videos, maybe some time lapse if I actually get to do any decluttering, and I'll just insert that as I go along. So I hope you stay with me. I hope you have some arrangement that you want to do in 2012. 2012? I've just gone back a long time. If you're doing something in 2012, I can't even say it. So 2025, I don't set New Year's resolutions. This just happens to be, we've come back from our sons and our son, daughter-in-law and 2 grandchildren, 9 and 11, and we are going to be living in their garden at some point in an annex, and it's all very exciting, but we keep chopping and changing whether we're going to be a log cabin or a dual width caravan lodge. So we're not quite sure what's happening, but we're back to start with a vengeance. We had a bit of a hiccup before Christmas. We were both a bit out of unable to function very well physically, so we want to get on with it now, and we want to get the house on the market as soon as possible. And I've kind of done this mantra for weeks and weeks and months, and there've been things holding us up. Well, at this point, we want to just get cracking now. So all I'm wearing me-made is my Harper cardigan, my tried and tested Harper cardigan, the first one I made and the first one I started my channel with back in 2020. So I did say on my last video that I'm going to be making one in red. I should just show you that just in case you haven't seen that video. So I've got that to do. Now, I'm not rushing for any plans to be sewing at this point, but one of the best ways of decluttering my sewing room is sewing things that haven't been yet sewn or finishing whips. Now, I don't want to get held up by finishing whips. I want to make some structural changes in here, tidy everything, and then chuck stuff on the table so that I can look at, do I want that? Has it got to go? And if it's got to go, where is it going? Am I gifting it? Am I recycling it? Or does it have to go actually in the waste? So then that will be recycling waste. But anyway, so I've got to make those decisions about nearly everything that we have got to make those decisions about nearly everything that we've got. And specifically, I am focusing on this room this week. So I hope to see you along with me on this journey. If it inspires you, or if it's like, oh my God, if it's that bad, I'm not doing it. I hope it's not the latter. So thank you for being with me. Again, happy 2025. Let's hope it's a better year, because it's been very, very strange. Bye for now. Susan at Seaside Stitches. It's just looking a little bit chaotic, this, isn't it? I think it's time I had a sort out. Okay, speak to you later. So when I did my catch up for 2024 vlog the other day, I was left with lots of scraps. Now I've turned the pile of little scraps into all this. I've just been cutting 1 3/4 inch squares, 2 inch squares, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 3, and rectangles of indeterminate size, all about 2 inches wide, and they'll all be going into my patchwork section in my drawer. And then these I will be just quickly flicking these together and making a crumb square or something, but not just now. So I started this well before Christmas. It was just for myself, for me. It's a Minky Kim pattern, and to be absolutely honest, I'm less happy with any other pattern company than By Annie. That's just my preference, and there is a full sew along for it on her channel. I can't remember what it's called, but it's... So I'm just going to waft this along. It's now something like 1:10 in the afternoon, and I've got... This is the state of play, really, on my table. So I'm going to get this sorted. I'm going to have some lunch. I'm going to set a 30-minute timer, and then I'm going to do some kind of clearing up on here and sort out why on earth I've got my 2 machines out. And then I'm going to do this chair tomorrow. So I'm not doing too much today. That's me so far. That's the floor. That's a box of scraps. You know, a little sewn basket of scraps. Okay? Right, but on here, I grouped together different threads for when I was doing the project that I did, the sew together bag, because that was using blues and lilacs, and also I was doing something else which I'll just show you a little bit of in a minute, because it's around the place somewhere. So they were for something else, and all these I just left them on here so I wouldn't get them mixed up, because I had 2 shades of lilac. Focus, right, that's the pale one on the spool, what I call a spool, and that's the other one. And so they need to find a place to live and not really on this table. So then I've got my overlocker that I hadn't made friends with. I'm fine with now, but it is still a bit not nerve-wracking is too strong a word. Just to be confident, I just leave it threaded as it is, as I know it works, in the white. And then I've been using my older overlocker, which is on the table. That's got blue on it at the moment. I'll just go around there in a minute because I want to show you that pattern. But then I've got things on this chair and the piled up things. This is just a quick video before I start. So these are 2 things that I would like to make. I'm not rushing to make the shirt blouse because that's just going to be a spring summer thing. I do want to get on with that before the end of January. So this I've shown on my channel, the fabric for it. I want to make a peacekeeper. That would be the backing. But again, I'm not doing anything, not making anything until I've made more progress on this tidying up business. And yeah, trialing some buttonholes, and they didn't all go well. And my machine has just been such a nuisance. It's limiting what I can do at the moment. Okay, and I have some presents that were bought for me for Christmas, which I'll go through another time. There's the Christmas box that I just grabbed things out of before we went, made a little Christmassiness, but only a very slight Christmassiness, and they're left out so that they've got to be put back away. So this is where I keep some of my fabrics or projects, part made or part started or cut out together with all the bits in between the cardboard so that I can get to them without everything falling out. I've got some piles in here of things. I know what they are. I have been through them with you before, with people who've been watching my channel. This is all folded up leftovers, about a metre, just slightly more in some cases, of thinner woven fabrics. So cotton lawns, Tana lawns, whatever, viscose chalice, not chalice. Right, so that's that, okay. Variety of different cutting boards for different things. There's templates, just things that are that size that live in there. On my side table, there's a completed Peacekeeper, some levelled and pressed fat quarters that haven't been decided on for what I'm going to make with them. I got them out for gift to November to see if there was anything I was going to make with those. There's the fabric that I bought from Abercarn that I want to make a dress with. These are my whips that I just layered onto here. They're on hangers, but I just hung them over the back of the chair when I videoed the other day. I'm sure everyone's fed up of seeing them. I know I am. Okay. Well, hello. Welcome to day 2 of Susan's declutter of her sewing room. So today I'm going to concentrate on getting everything out of here that shouldn't be in here, as in it's rubbish really, or it's lost its way and it needs to go back to the room it should be in. So yesterday I just showed you a couple of photos, and one of the things I wanted to do was just sort out these little scraps that I'd put together. From the scraps from the Christmas tree napkins, I had just kind of rescued these little scraps. I put a photo in before, and last night I was just looking at the possibility of some 9 patches. So the idea is, as you're going along, you treat yourself to 30 minutes of sewing. You don't have to do 30 minutes of sewing, but if that's your incentive. So something not very complicated and something that'll just give you a free kind of pleasure. Okay, I'm going to get on with the mess moving. The thing I've done is I've sorted out 4 of these containers of sewing magazines that I no longer want. That gets them out of my cupboard. That's reduced things more to actual books about making things rather than just magazines. And I've found that this, I can't remember what they're called, these. This box that was in the summer house holding something else is fine to fit in there now that these have moved. So I know what I want to put in that, and I have another one to go on top of it. I know someone who is now getting into knitting, so I've got lots of knitting things that and crochet that I can pass on, and so I've just sorted those out. They will go. I'll keep these. I can't just think what they're called, but anyway, that's okay. So these are woven scraps, and they've been in there for a couple of years, and they're going to get dumped into the recycling, the textile recycling. These, however, are my jersey scraps, and are all less than half a metre wide or long or whatever, and they were just a little bit too much for me to get rid of, but now I'm thinking it has to happen. So I've kept them for just the odd neckband or a collar or a facing or whatever, cuff, something, but it's not going to happen. So I've got to be a bit ruthless here. And these are just bits and pieces of foams that I've trimmed from Buy Any bags, and they're great for stuffing like sorry, the door was open to the kitchen where the video was going. The video the washing machine was revving up to a spin. So they're good for door stops, but only if you're having them yourself, because if you're selling them they have to be of a certain standard for not being particularly inflammable or containing something that would cause, what do you call that thing? Toxic vapors, they wouldn't release toxic somethings into the air. I can't see what the word is. Anyway, so they're going to fabric waste as well, textile waste as well. Apologies for the dripping water outside onto the windowsill. Anyway, nothing looks much better, but it is a bit different. So have explored some of the pre-made patchwork that I have, and just got some things out with that. I have recut some things that was for a bag and just move things over really. I've not done any moving things about. I haven't taken anything away from here. This is just moved off my table because there's something else on it. This, I went yesterday for some H630 interfacing fusible fleece, just to put on the back of that because I want to use it as a picture in our bedroom. We have a photograph on the wall of me that was quite heavily photoshopped, but not to make me more glamorous or anything, but to make it the colours that our other room was in our other house. And we don't particularly want that on the wall when we're showing people around or on the photographs of the room. So that will fit in the frame, this little thingamabob. I can make that fit into the frame. So just to stiffen it up slightly, I'm just going to put fusible fleece H630 on the back of that and do a little bit like quilting, and then it will fit in the frame hopefully. Otherwise, I did get this fabric out. I had got this fabric out ready for Christmas for our Amy. I was going to make her a scarf with it, what do you call it, infinity scarf with it. She loves bees, and I've had it for quite a while. I brought it back home with me. I showed it to her. I brought it back home with me well before Christmas, and I had plenty of time. I'd put it in a safe place, couldn't find it. I did find it, but as you've been aware, if you saw my last videos before Christmas, it was one of the things that I didn't get around to doing. So that is just being reviewed as to what I'm going to do with it next. I've cleaned all the area around my sewing machine. I have taken off my mat that I have with my pockets on the side. I've washed that. That's just waiting to be pressed. Really, it needs a new one, but I don't want to be starting doing that yet. Okay, so that's that so far. I haven't yet touched that chair. I'm not bothered about it just now. I did bring my other sewing machine onto the table. I didn't talk about that before. That's just the back of it, but I was testing that on the 4-step buttonholes, and I'm still wavering about whether to go back to doing them that way if my other one isn't behaving itself. I have managed to mend that bag. That's done. This is a weight to put on my long ruler. Managed to put the Christmas decorations away. Some big 4, 5, whatever they are, patterns for going. Just sorting all my indie patterns. I've got 3 boxes in the other cupboard. I've just been tidying my patterns and reordering them, putting them into pattern company sections. I have itemized, I've made a list which I'll put onto a spreadsheet so that I can keep a better eye on what I've got printed. Fill another box. Notions and Pattern Emporium in this one. I'll itemize them and put a list on at some point. I've just reminded myself of all the larger sized independent paper patterns. Gone through these 3 boxes of big 4, 5, however many they are. Been through these and decided on what I want to keep. Okay, here I am at the end of this week. I have done, I feel like I've achieved a lot. It probably doesn't look like that on the video, but I'm just coming in to say we had 2 days where one day we went out, did all the shopping that we've not done for ages and ages. We had quite a good day. I did buy something from Hobbycraft, and it was just a packet of nails, a packet of stretch needles, various sizes, and it was less than £5, and I was pleased with that purchase. And then today we've had a lovely day out. We've been out for lunch. We've had a ride over to Bury, we've had a lunch there, we've driven to Rochdale, we've done some reminiscing because that's where we first lived when we got married, and it's just been really nice. It was wow going out, driving over the tops over what we call Belmont, and lots of snow up there, and it was really beautiful. It was a little bit tense on parts of it as we got into it, but as the cloud came down as quite a strong heavy mist. So, but we've had a lovely day. So I've just started to put together all the footage from last week. I think I keep it under 20 or 30 minutes for the whole thing that I've done. And just as a reminder, Karen at Just Get It Done Quilts, she does a proper declutter. She itemizes each day. You take out all your refuse or all the rubbish that's accumulated, any interlopers that shouldn't be there, like coffee cups and things that shouldn't be in there, anything that's strayed from anything that's strayed and isn't sewing that's got into your room, you remove it. Anything that is sewing and has gone to another place, maybe go for that and find out where that needs to go. And it's quite an interesting thing, but in that I have also sorted out my patterns. I have made some lists of all my indie patterns, and I want to do a spreadsheet so I can keep track of those more. I've quite surprised myself in how many I've got, and I don't have a big stash of patterns or fabric, but I have more than I thought I had. And there were some that I was really wanting to make and I've actually forgotten about them. I do only have 2 style art patterns. One is, I can't remember what it's called. It's just it's for making with Yvette woven dress, which is in different sections so that you could use it as a scrappy project. That's what I bought it for. And the other one is the Style Arc bell dress, which I've been going to make for ages. All I've done is the shirred waistband, not recently. Anyway, I will be continuing doing this process in my own way, not doing Karen's strict way, but it's helping me just get myself a bit more organised. Yes, it doesn't look massively different in here, but my head is a bit more organised. So I'm just going to say bye for now, and thank you for watching. If you managed to stay to the end, that was great. If you did like the video, I'd love it if you thumbs up and subscribe. That would be fantastic. So thanks ever so much. Bye for now. It's Susan at Seaside Stitches saying bye for now.